Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Terratech with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to what is most likely a short video, because today we are covering one change in the recent update. We are talking about the experimental Dynamo generator. This item has been around in the game for a very long time, but it simply had no functions. Until now, finally, it is usable, it's working, and I want to see just how good it really is. Now, normally I wouldn't cover just one item like this in an entire video, but honestly, I think it deserves it. This item has been around for a very long time, so to see it functioning is actually kind of weird. The item's description reads as follows. This block generates electricity when attached to a moving tech. It doesn't produce much power, but it's better than nothing. So today, what I really want to do is just test out a few variables, see how good the item really is, but most importantly, how it's going to function in different states. For instance, will it give us power on a flying tech? Will it give us more power if we are moving at a faster pace? Will it give us more power if there are multiple generators? And honestly, most of these things you should really take for granted. It should give you more power if you're moving faster, it should give you more power if there are more of them, but if I've learnt anything from all these years of gaming, especially on YouTube, sometimes logic doesn't work with items like this, so I really want to see just how it works. And that's what we're doing today. A tiny video testing out an item which just needs to be tested. For our first test, will we get more power if we have more of the generators? This vehicle on the left has 6, the one on the right has only a single generator. I'm about to start a timer on my phone, go directly forward, and see just how long it takes for this battery to be completely filled up. I'm assuming and hoping that more generators equals more power, because eventually I would like to see if I can have a vehicle completely based around these generators. Perhaps using things like the axles to have a secondary vehicle which is constantly moving on a main vehicle. That's why all this science needs to be done. Or something like that anyway. 3, 2, 1, and we begin. So, straight away, it's fairly obvious we don't get all that much power, and this is with 6 of the generators. We are going at 78 miles per hour, just to make sure we go about the same speed with the next vehicle. Now approaching 15 seconds. And we are done. So that was 20 seconds according to my timer. Okay, so 20 seconds to get 1 battery worth of power using 6 of these generators. Oh, and look, they now have an animation. That is really cool looking. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be a very practical item, but I'm going to be building with it a lot. Very cool. Now onwards to the next vehicle. Really hoping this works. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Let's pretend I didn't just swerve. Okay, we are a little bit faster in this vehicle. But not by a considerable amount. Okay, yeah, this is taking way longer. So, I think we've already answered the question. More generators equals more power, so we can potentially spam them. But my god, that is so little power. Yep, 25 seconds now, and we are currently at 1 bar. It took 2 minutes and 15 seconds, at least according to my stopwatch, so that was pretty darn horrendous, to be perfectly honest. But here's the thing, it is free power for doing nothing special, you don't need to anchor, you can get energy during the night, you don't need to harvest resources, all you need to do is move around, which you're going to be doing with pretty much every tech ever, so it's still pretty good. But I would recommend, if you are using this, to definitely use one of these. With the Better Future controller switch, it allows you to turn off your shield bubbles, repair bubbles, and all that good stuff, which means you're not constantly sapping power from it. And here's the thought, anti-gravity. Anti-gravity plus this would make some interesting combos. Though, of course, this item itself would count as mass for the vehicle, which would then drain more power. But still, just a thought. Yeah, thankfully we can do this now. Oh, I thought maybe I could use this to teleport home, apparently not. Can I return to checkpoint? Yes, I can. And we are home. So, first test, great success. You can have multiple of these dynamos on a single vehicle. The next test is all about speed. So, we have a much faster vehicle over here, which is going about 100 miles an hour. And then we have the Derptron, which goes about 50 if you're lucky. So, literally half of the speed. How long will it take to fully charge this tiny little Venture battery? Well, I'm going to have to do that again. So, what was the problem here? I accidentally had a shield block on this thing. Okay, let's quickly turn that off, shall we? Here's the thing, if I turn that off, then I remove that, Does it still stay off? Because otherwise we're going to go a little bit slower, and then it's not exactly half, and that will annoy me. Well, it seems like it isn't trying to turn on this time. Okay, brilliant. So, I'll just reset this vehicle so it has no power at all, and then we'll see how long it takes. As usual, Lathrix was wrong about something, so you do indeed need to keep this item on the craft in order for it to work. And sadly, the shield is the main part of this vehicle, so taking it off wouldn't really be a viable tactic. Thankfully, we're still at exactly 50 though, so that's pretty darn awesome. I think the next craft goes about 103, so that's fine. Wow, this is slow. So remember, this is a Venture battery, which I believe holds less power than a GSO, but now I'm saying that I'm not sure. Either way, that doesn't matter. All that matters is how long this takes in comparison to the next vehicle, which also has only a single Venture battery. 2 minutes and 1 second. You know, I could just go to 1 bar of the battery, but there's something oddly soothing about just driving into the void. And now for something a little bit faster. I'm really hoping this is quicker, otherwise there's going to be some problems with this. So this is going at 102, so in theory this should get our power to maximum twice as fast. Really hoping that's the case. We have a single Venture battery at the front and nothing else. We have just now hit the 1 minute mark and we're at 2.5 out of 5. This is starting to look problematic. There is a good chance that the extra speed means nothing. If this ends up taking 2 minutes, I'll build something much faster and see if that is any quicker. And this is why I was doing these tests, because logically you would think a faster vehicle will give you more power. However, that doesn't seem to be the case, or at least not as much as you'd expect. If at all. 1 minute 55 seconds. So, 6 seconds difference. Oh god, for double the speed, help! There's a good chance as well that that 6 seconds is just because of an error with the... an error with the stopwatch, since I was doing it manually. I'm trying to be professional here, lads. Come on, I'm trying to do science. Okay, so... I'm going to stop laughing for a second, then I'm going to give that another shot with the Derptron, then I'm going to give it another shot with something way faster. In fact, no, let's just straight away go to something far quicker. Okay, we're going with a vehicle now, which is 125 with bursts of 200. This should be significantly faster at charging up the battery if speed is indeed a factor. Which, by the looks of the timer already, I'm starting to think isn't. 1 minute 45. We are just about to hit maximum power. 150, 153, 54, and it looks like 154. That is either almost no difference at all, or it's just once again an error on my part. So, I'm going to repeat the tests a few times off camera and I'll see if the numbers add up. It seems like, though, honestly, speed doesn't do anything. In fact, actually, no. The easiest way to do this would be to get an incredibly slow craft, something moving maybe at only 10, or something like that, and see how long that takes. Well, this is unexpected, now hitting the 1 minute mark. Speed definitely does affect how fast this works, but it seems like over a certain speed, the difference is negligible. Yep, we're now at 1 minute 15 as of now, and we're only at 2 bars out of 5. So this is going to be way over 2 minutes, so it does seem like, yep, speed is important for this thing, at least in the lower speed regions. It seems like, though, after a certain amount, the difference doesn't matter. As I've already just said, I'm just repeating myself at this point. Now at 2 minutes and 3 seconds, so yeah, speed definitely affects these things. Just nowhere near as much as I was expecting. 1 minute 59 seconds. And this is the second test. The last time I got 1 minute 58 seconds, so obviously human error is definitely taking a major role here, but anything above 50 miles an hour, it seems, yeah, just absolutely fine. I would love if it gave more power if you're going incredibly quickly, but I also understand that will make certain vehicles very overpowered, but it just seems to fit the idea of the generator. Seems to just kind of cap out. Although I will say, the animation speed actually is variable depending on the speed of your vehicle, so perhaps before this item is fully implemented, they will change it a little bit in terms of power output. So, one final test to do. Excuse me. And that is, of course, to see if this thing works whilst flying. After that, I am all done, really. That's all the testing I wanted to do. Now, normally, I would have done this all off camera, but since this item has been around for so long, I feel like it deserves its own video. 1 minute 54. So, that also backs up the last time I tested this thing, and yes, I just went ahead and tested this again, so it seems like there is a very slight difference after 50 miles an hour. Okay, now for the flyer, which I said I was going to do anyway. The Dynamo does not work whilst in the air. I mean, okay, it makes sense, since we're not actually causing any friction to the Dynamo itself, I just figured it would work. Then if we land... yeah, then the Dynamo starts working. Getting power, up in the air, no power. So it seems like you need to have physical contact with the ground in order for it to work. Again, it makes complete sense that it doesn't work logically. I just thought it would. Also, it's been so long since I flew a normal plane. I'm being distracted! Explosions! Ah, that made me happy. Okay, final test, hovers. I'm assuming then they won't work. But before we go to the hover, what's the minimum speed then to activate? It seems like somewhere around 25. Yeah, just over 20, and then the Dynamo will start moving. Okay, good to know. Random side note, in this patch we also now have the ability to have animations when we take damage. Yep, the whole world shakes as you break yourself on the ground. Okay, let's stop destroying the vehicle we're about to test with, please. That might be a good idea. Okay, so, final test. There we are, we have that. We have a battery. We're now going off the side because we're half broke, that's fine. And as expected, it does not work. Now let's see. If we go really close to the ground, can we trick it into working? Nope. How about just friction? Ow! Okay, I'm touching the ground. It's not working. So, it does seem to require some kind of wheel. And I assume then, the ski item, because it is counted as a wheel block, even though it's obviously not a wheel, must count. So if we place one of those there, and then move for... Ow! I didn't break ourselves horribly. Yet, there we go, it's now working. So hovers themselves don't block it from working, it just requires a wheel block. Okay, so with that, I'm afraid I am all out of time for today's video. Normally this would be a video out I don't record, purely because, it's just testing things out. But if you would like to see more stuff like this in the future, then please tell me in the comments. And if you're honestly just not interested, tell me that as well. I want to know what type of content to make. It's always good to see people's feedback. So with that, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me. Helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Terratech is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. That was an oddly fun episode to record, considering it was just going in straight lines. Bye-bye.